And Brice, can you quickly introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Brice Samulenok. I operate and manage the what Difenda calls their C3 or their Cyber Command Center.
Okay.
And so the Cyber Command Center is responsible for SOC operations. So we have clients that we monitor 24/7.
Right.
We also offer deeper services out of that, which is investigating and response,
Right.
Up to and including forensics if required.
Okay.
And also offensive security, so ethical hacking.
Okay.
So we do security assessments and offensive security assessments where we go in and we actually try to enter into an organization, whether it's cyber or physically.
Okay. And then you're the commander for the Security Operations Center. You're basically in charge of everything, I guess.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. So every those three lines basically report up into me. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So I guess, Brice, you have quite many years experience in the security industry.
Yeah.
And ethical hacking also is our topic today.
Sure.
There's all kind of names, but can you give us your view about ethical hacking?
Sure. I mean, ethical hacking, the term has been around for a little while. I mean, before that, it was strictly just penetration testing, or, in the military, there was a thing that they called Tiger Team or
Tiger
Red
Team. Okay, right. Yep.
Where they would compile a bunch of experts and they would take a look at assessing a system's security because identified that there is a potential security risk to having computer technology.
Okay.
And so, as an offshoot of that, over the years, it's changed. And originally there was a definition of white hat, black hat, and gray hat type hacking.
Yeah.
And then it evolved into ethical hacking, which
Okay.
is, in my opinion, integral to identifying security risk in an environment or an organization.
Yes.
And they do that because they're acting as a threat actor, but not actually being a threat actor. So they can inform you and help you and help mitigate any potential vulnerabilities that you have in your environment.
Right. So it sounds like external quality control, right?
A little bit, yeah. A little bit like security, yeah. Exactly, yeah.
Wow.
And it just basically, it's the where the rubber meets the road in terms of making sure that you may have, from an audit perspective, you may have compensating controls, and it's just validating those technical controls are actually in place.
Okay, wonderful. And you've been in industry for quite a while. Are there any interesting story you can share with us?
Sure. I mean, there has been a few times where we've gone in to do an ethical penetration test, which is a type of ethical hacking. And as we were going through, we identified that we weren't the first ones there. So there was actually identified that there was a back door.
Okay.
So we had to immediately stop the ethical hacking and say, look, you've got an incident here. We need to change this from an ethical hack to an incident response and do an investigation to identify what
So
happened.
which means bad things already there.
Bad things were already there.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, they should have, I shouldn't say they should have, but it would have been better if we performed it initially because we could have identified those flaws before an actual attacker identified them and exploited them.
Okay. Sounds to me like a health check.
Right?
Exactly. Kind of like when you do the check, something really bad there, but in fact you need to do regular check.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Okay, good. And so Brice, we from the cyber tech and risk. So people join our events, they care about cyber technology.
Mm-hmm.
Also, they care about cyber risk.
Mm-hmm.
The beauty actually make them two work together.
Right.
Cybersecurity is one way to address that one.
Yep.
So do you have any tip for our audience? Any recommendation? It doesn't matter which area.
Sure. I think, from an underlying risk perspective, I think, getting back to basics, I think ensuring that as an organization that your security posture, that you're doing things like enabling 2FA and making sure that just that the fundamentals are implemented in your environment,
right?
And that can go a long way to stopping a lot of threats.
Okay.
There was an interview done with the NSA a few years ago, and they were asked about how many incidents that they've seen relied on zero-day type of exploits, and they said that it's maybe 13%.
Okay, very low ratio.
Very low ratio that was identified. So it really is a testament to the fact that just thinking about the basics and making sure that those are completed will ensure that your security posture is that much better.
That's actually very important because a lot of misconception or people think there's some cool things that go over
Yeah.
technology,
Yeah.
got some mysterious things happening. In fact, like what you said, there's a lot of actually basic things organization haven't done,
Right.
which cause the problem.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
It's back to the health check things, right? So you need to do
Yeah.
those basic things before you get that.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Brice,
Okay,
and
thank
very
you.
good insights. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Great. Thank you.